We're continuing our origin story series today with Ashton Jeanty. When we do these, I want these treated as a case study, right? So Ashton Jeanty didn't have any major Power Five, major SEC offers, but was one of the best running backs in college football last year. If he would have, declined to the NFL draft and entered the transfer portal, this is a kid that every top team in the country would have thrown a whole lot of NIL resources at. So I kind of want to watch his high school film and ask ourselves, why was this kid not a 5-star? Why was Texas? Why was Georgia not all over him? Why did he end up at Boise State? So we're going to take a look at him. 2022 running back, 5'8", 210 pounds from Lone Star in Texas. Was a 4-star coming out of high school, so not a guy that was, came completely out of nowhere like some other players. But I think what I noticed with Ashton Jeanty, and you'll see him bounce off of tackles early in the tape, he was not a great finisher in high school. It's kind of crazy to think about that. When he went to Boise State, he was running through way more tackles than he was in high school. We're going to see him get tripped up by arm tackles, and it's kind of hard to believe this is the same Ashton Jeanty that we just saw, have a Heisman caliber season in last season. So we're going to keep watching this film here. I will tell you, if this kid was coming out of high school, I would have said, I really like the contact balance he runs with, and I do like the frame upside, but I'm not sure that this guy is a SEC level running back. I'm not sure if this guy's a power 4 level running back. Definitely would have liked the contact balance upside. 5'9", 210. Really like that aspect. This is a really nice play here, staying on his feet. But, man, I got to tell you, we're going to watch this film. We're going to see him get tripped up by high school football players a way that, I just know Ashton Jeanty, obviously his last season would have ran through everybody that he's facing in the high school level. But, you do see some flashes of the explosiveness, of the ladder agility that made him also good at Boise State last year. But I got to tell you, this is a dude that got a lot stronger, got a lot faster at Boise State. To be honest, like this one right here, man. You're telling me Ashton Jeanty doesn't house this? So I think this is a guy that if he came out again, I don't really think this was a guy that got missed by colleges, to be honest. I think this is a dude that just really has a really strong work ethic and did a really good job, kind of developing himself into a top running back in the country at Boise State. There's a lot of arm tackles that, if we'd be watching him, we'd say he would not the most explosive, not the best long speed, not the best lateral agility. We need to see him running through these arm tackles. He just didn't do it in high school. I got to tell you, this is a guy that if he's coming out again, he would be missed again. I'm sure there's high school recruits out there that are pretty similar skill sets. Going to be missed again. It's all on the development and how seriously they take the offseason strength and conditioning, because dude, Jeanty's a lot stronger now than he was in high school, I'll tell you that. Does a good job. You see the flashes of the contact balance, like the frame, but I don't think in any world off of this high school tape this is a kid that like a school like Texas would have offered, or at least had a committable offer extended to him. But do like the flashes for sure. But yeah, got faster, got stronger, really just got better at college. And, a school that traditionally doesn't produce a lot of running backs. I know Boise State specifically, out of a lot of the group of 5 schools has produced more running backs. Remember Doug Martin a while ago, Jerry McNichols, that Dolphins running back as well that I'm blanking on right now. But, that's not too many names, man. Different coaching staff also. So, see the flashes. Did a good job making himself a better college football recruit, college football player, I think. Curious to hear what you guys think about the high school film here. But, definitely a good high school football player. Definitely would have had him as a Division I football player. Just not one of the top in the country like the way that he was in college football in 2024. I wouldn't have seen it coming, that's something I'll tell you. Stuff like this, right? Man, I feel like he just got so much faster in a straight line as well, because right here, he got faster, he got stronger. But that was Ashton Jeanty in high school. You guys let me know what you think. Do you think he was a miss by recruiting services? It's kind of easy to say that after the fact. Yeah, no shit. He just he was a Heisman caliber running back last year. Definitely would have got recruited heavier if he was in the transfer portal after last year. That much is obvious. But I got to tell you, I think this is a dude that, if we had a carbon copy, just didn't know it was Ashton Jeanty, he would have got missed again. But yeah, good high school football player. You guys let me know what you think about Jeanty. Thanks for watching.